think there's been some confusion somewhere along the line in the rumors that kicked about, Shorty. At one time there was a rumor that, and I hate to quote about the first man to go on the Redstone would be amongst this crew of 3, and that the succeeding Redstone shot would command for it to be chosen upon this backup group of 4. Is that true, or is it not necessarily so?
I think the best answer to that is that we've chosen 3 men for the initial flights. And by initial flights, I think the best estimate I could give you is probably at least 2.
It has to be more than 1.
Obviously, it has to be more than 1. More than 1 and less than 3. I think the point I'm trying to get at here is the fact that we've selected this group of 3 does not foreclose the opportunity for the other 4 to fly later flights.
Shorty, can you be a little more specific about how the selection was made? The statement that was given to us yesterday was that it was based on 22 months of information. Are there some criteria that were met in selecting 3 men?
I think the best answer I can give you to that is that, first of all, the initial selection process was probably one of the most vigorous selection processes that's ever been conducted any place, any time with regard to selecting people. Since that time, we have been in vigorous training for somewhat 22 months now, 23 months.
Trying to establish the process was successful.
In every training situation, we acquired medical information. For example, one of the things that these gentlemen have that I don't have is 4 tattoo marks. One on the upper and lower breastbone in the front, and one under the rib cage on each side. And the reason for that is so that we can attach medical instrumentation to exactly the same point on the body. And we have been doing this now throughout all of the centrifuge rides, the pressure chamber runs, and all of the other training activity, and have been therefore acquiring more and more and more and more medical information on their own physiological reaction to these situations. In addition, we've been running training in the procedures trainer, that is actually simulating missions. We crank in troubles in the cockpit, systems failures. We run time studies on how fast they reacted to these kinds of things. I think the best thing that I could say is that the people we've selected right now are those that currently appear to be the best qualified for this particular mission. That could change. And this is the reason why we keep saying that we have not foreclosed on the other 4.
Well, you're saying, in effect, that there may be somewhat like a football team where some people are stars in the early part of the season and others come along later in the...
I think perhaps this is a reasonable...
That's a real good idea.
Where do you think
You can look at it another...
with your appendicitis operation?
I don't have any idea.
You don't think so?
I don't have any idea.
Oh.
Maybe this selection is the midpoint between ham and the humans, too. You can't...
Good scratch, John.
Thank you, Harry.
Yeah, it was your idea. You scratched.
Fellas that won have the longest arms.
See, the way we're going to choose the pilot is by seeing who fits that sweater I got the other day.
Or if they take apples or bananas.
Well, most of the intensive training, final training, is done right here at Cape Canaveral.
I suspect a good bit of it, John.
There'll be a lot of activity here. There'll be activity at Langley. This isn't going to be pinpointed to any one spot, as I indicated earlier. It's just a general step up in activity and intensification across the board. There won't be any one phase of it in particular that will receive the emphasis. Obviously, as time goes on, we're going to be spending more and more time here at the Cape, as we have been for the past year. We've gradually stepped up our activities here, and I'm sure this will continue.
Will this involve any, say, more centrifuge tests at Johnsville and things like that?
This hasn't been set up at the moment, no. We may go back to Johnsville occasionally for refresher work on it, but there's nothing programmed as of this moment.
I'd like to ask you, with three very good successes under your belt now, this I would like from the astronaut, and it's very evident that the program is moving along very well.
Bye.
Do the astronauts feel that we have a good chance of beating the Russians in the space with an orbital strike? Any chance, a good chance, or what have you, or not?
I think it's pretty obvious that they have greater capability in some fields that are involved in orbital flight, particularly their weightlifting capability. We know they have a pretty advanced environmental control system to sustain their animals in flight. So the direct answer, and this is just my personal feeling, is that I'll be surprised if they don't.